it's Nisha. How you doing? Nice to see you again. If this is your first time stopping by to say hi, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've been here before, woo! Thanks for following me on my journey. And let's just keep going. This is gonna be another story time. This one's going to be my LA story times, okay? I got plenty of New Mexico ones, but we just gonna start off from where I came and just work our way up, okay? So this is gonna be about, hold on, y'all. This is going to be about how I was homeless, okay? Sadly to say, I've been homeless more than once. It's probably been like 3 times before I became an adolescent where I can kind of take care of myself, you know, so independent ladies. Okay, so the first time I became homeless was when our apartment caught on fire. I'll get into that another time. I was homeless again when I was like in middle school-ish. I was homeless again after high school, and that was probably because we were all together when it happened, like my mom, my brothers, and all that stuff. It wasn't like crazy, but the last time I was homeless, I was a little older. I was like 21 at the time, so I was a little older. So that's when I was like, okay, I can get myself out the situation. Even though I saw no way out, I just really saw myself out of that situation. So we're just gonna talk about the last time I was homeless, okay? So I was about 20 or 21 at this time. I was going to Losangeles, well, LACC College, Los Angeles City College at the time when it happened. And I'm not gonna get too much into details about what exactly happened, but just know, lost my shelter, lost my roof, eventually lost literally everything I had at that time. And I felt like it humbled me, even though I was already humbled because that wasn't the first time it happened before. I do feel like this situation super just humbled me. So like even now, the little things I get, I'm just like, yes, $190 glasses. I'm like, yes. I paid for it myself. They're mine. We'll wear them all the time, clearly. So what happened was we ended up losing our place at the time. And we ended up eventually living with the pastor of our church. Some situations went down there, and it just didn't work out. You know, I just think maybe it's just too many of us. No shade, no tea, but that was probably a bad decision, okay? So ended up not living there, and at that time, once we left there, we kind of really didn't have anywhere to go. I remember we put everything we owned like in not a shelter, in a storage, and that was it. Everything that was on our back was on our back, and that was just what it was. The living expenses in LA at that time back then were ridiculous. It was just like, you know, what are you gonna do except be on the streets, you know what I mean? But fortunately for me, I wasn't on the streets. I mean, I was homeless, but I wasn't on the streets like sleeping on park benches or anything like that. I'm just gonna tell everything from my point of view, because everybody else might have a different point of view. I can only tell my story from my point of view. So I'm just gonna say I, okay? Keep in mind it's all of us, but I'm just gonna say I because I'm only telling this story from my point of view, okay? Ain't bringing nobody else in it. So I started staying at a shelter. It was actually like a church, and at the bottom, like they had a stage. So at like the bottom part of the stage was where all the men slept and the disabled people slept. Up on the stage was kind of like where the women slept. And I ended up meeting a lot of people there. Like I met people around my age, you know, but they didn't really have like family. And it was really interesting to really see like how many people it was and how many able-bodied people was. Yeah, it was people that were a little ding dong, but at the same time, there was just regular normal people. There was even working people there. And that's when I was just like, wow, this is real. You know, at the time, I didn't know how to get out of the situation. I didn't know how long I was going to be in the situation. I didn't know what was going to happen from day to day. I just really tried to make the most out of everything. You know what I mean? So while I was in the show, wake us up at like 5:30 a.m. and we'll have to leave. So they have like a bus outside, and you can get on the bus and it'll take you to a place called the Women's Shelter, which is in Skid Row. Or it'll drop you off like at like the Midnight Rescue or something like that. But most of the men would just go to the Midnight Rescue, and then the women would go to the Women's Shelter. And you could literally be there until like, I think it was like either 1 or 2, and then the bus would pick you up and then take you back to the shelter, because the shelter was actually a church. So especially like on Sundays and stuff, we would have to come back later because it was a church, but they offered a shelter like in another auditorium they had or whatever. So during the course of all this, I'm going to the women's shelter. I'm there like trying to make the best out of my situation. Like I said, they would provide you clothes. You can go there and take a shower. You can go there and they literally have rooms for you to sleep. You can go there and do job applications. They fed you breakfast and lunch, and they'll give you like a sack, you know, for whatever you needed, for if that was your dinner or however it may be. You got that at the end. They had the work center upstairs, which I would go and really try to fill out applications. I remember at that time I was really trying to work at Macy's. I just made that my goal, but I had a phone at the time and I couldn't keep up with the phone bill. So when I wasn't able to pay that phone bill anymore, I mean, doing applications was just, it was just pointless, because yeah, I can do applications, but how am I going to contact you guys? And there was so many people there. It was just like when you have to make a phone call, it was just like everybody's right there waiting to do what they have to do. It was kind of like, looking back on it, like there's a whole lot. But at the time, I really did make the best out of everything. So they would assign people every day to be like shower monitor, or to be like the room monitor, so they would wash the rooms or to do laundry. So the opportunity that I got to become the shower monitor, I took it, because in the shower monitor, you can go back where the showers are. There's underwears, there's bras, there's deodorant, like name brand stuff, because people donate. If you don't know anything about the women's shelter, I mean the women's center in Los Angeles, definitely Google it. A lot of celebrities and stuff donate to them, so they had all types of stuff. And I had the key to the shower area, you know, so I got dibs on like body wash and conditioner, shampoo, panties, like anything I needed, I could have. So I know I was so dedicated to that job. It was a little crazy. Like I felt like I feel like Skid Row can be a trap. And at the time, because I had gave up on, because I was a shower monitor, I made sure I was the first to be able to do my showers. I could do my showers before everyone else. I got dibs on like panties. They never had my bra size, but socks, like all that stuff. Just because I was homeless, I pride myself in never looking homeless. Like that was something I was just like, no one will ever know anything. Like I've hung out with friends and stuff while I was homeless and they had no clue, you know, they had no clue. And I prided myself on that. I was like, I can't be a product of my situation. Yes, I'm going through this. Yes, I'm struggling. Yes, I'm hungry, but I'm not gonna look like my struggle. That was what I prided myself on, to never look like my struggle, and I never did. My hair was always done. My clothes were always clean. I always looked at the part. You know, that's how you know, never judge a book by its cover. You know, the person with the nicest clothes can be the person most struggling, okay? So, like I said, like I really made the most of my situation. I mean, I was probably there for like 3 months doing the same thing. I ended up working in the kitchen, because I found out you work in the kitchen, you get the first dibs on food. So that was that. If you got a certain score, so knowing the news of the day, so I used to always like look on my phone about what was going on, you know, because I had Wi-Fi. look on my phone about what was going on in the world. And the person that would know the news of the day would get first dibs on shopping. And shopping was all the clothes that people would donate. They would put it all out on tables and you get first dibs on the clothes. So I used to always research the news of the day. So I'll always have the answer and I'll get first dibs on the clothes. So as you're starting to realize, I really was making the most out of such a horrible situation, okay? Like, I became laundry monitor to make sure that my clothes were clean when I didn't have the money to wash my clothes. As a laundry monitor at the Women's Center, you're able to wash your clothes first and free. So, like I said, I made the most out of my situation. Like, I didn't have not a dime to my name. I didn't have anything. But I made the most out of my situation so that I was never super suffering because I wanted to get out the situation, and knowing deep down this wasn't for me. It's like being stuck in something that you know shouldn't have happened, and that you know just isn't meant for you. When you have people looking at you telling you you shouldn't be here. Why are you here? You know what I mean? Like, when I had opportunities to go to college, didn't go. And it's like, you have people that's really looking at you on the daily basis being here. And it's like, oh, I'm homeless. Why? Are you serious? How? What's your story? You know what I mean? Really just start to question, why are you here? I remember crying nights like, why, God, why am I in this situation? Why is this happening to me? Like, I've never done anything to anyone, you know? So I just really never understood why I had to go through it. But now that I'm older and I'm where I'm supposed to be now, I know that it was meant to be, because sometimes God has to take away what you think is good to give you something better. You know, that's how I look at it. So back to all that. I remember meeting a girl, me and her was the same age. And I remember she had told me she found out she was pregnant, and she was sleeping in like a tent downtown, like by where the downtown library was. And I remember she was telling me like her and the guy she was pregnant with was fighting with someone over their tent because they were trying to take their tent. And I'm listening to the story. Someone listening to the story would probably laugh, but listen to that story, I was so hurt for her, because I was just like, well, you know, our shelter, you know, they don't take people all the time because it was so full. But I was like, maybe we could try, you know. And she was just like, well, I don't want to go all the way down there and they don't take me. So I ended up losing contact with her, but bless her heart. But oh my goodness, because the shelter closes. It's a winter shelter, so once the winter's over, you're kind of just out on your own. So once the shelter ended, I ended up on Skid Row. Drive with me, I mentioned I got a lot of PRIDE, and I do. I don't want anyone to ever tell me they've done anything for me. I want to make it on my own, because I don't want anyone like, oh my God, it's because of me. You got this and that. It's because of me. You know those people. Oh, but I helped you do. What about me? I helped you. No, nobody can't tell me they helped me out my situation, but me. Could I have reached out to people or my friends or stuff like that and be like, hey, I need someone to say? I could have. But I don't want nobody being able to tell me that they helped me. It happened because I helped you. What if I didn't help you? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want anybody to... God help Nisha, not you. Get real deep here. But I remember having to stay at the rescue mission. So the rescue mission will make you go apply for benefits in order to stay there, because you had to pay them $240. The benefits will only give you $242. Now I need y'all to listen right now. And this is why I'm telling you, being homeless in Skid Row is a trap, because they make it a trap. They wanted me to pay $240 a month applying for benefits. When I went to go apply, I only got $242, which means for the entire month, I had to live off of $2. How am I gonna stop being homeless living off of $2? Tell me. So I remember staying there, and when you go in there, there's like a cafeteria, big old cafeteria. They have food in the morning and food at night. You go there, you eat, you know, you do your breakfast, you can do lunch. I was never there for lunch. I was always at the women's center because that's just where I felt comfortable. And honestly, that's where I felt safe, because in Skid Row, that's kind of where you had, well, not Skid Row, but in Rescue Mission is more where you had like the heavy duty drug addicts, or I want to say trafficking, stuff like that was down there, more closer towards that area. While the women's center, even though it was probably 10 minutes away, still to me, I just felt safer there because it was a closed environment. It was just mostly women. It was probably some guys that were caseworkers, but it was mostly women. And I just felt safe there. That was more of like a safe haven. You know, they didn't ask you who you were when you walked in. It was just like, come in. But the only way you could be like a shower and stuff monitor was if you had your TB test or whatever. But so I'm staying at the Rescue Mission to sleep, basically. That place, they truly treat you like an animal. Bunk beds, hundreds of bunk beds, and women are like decorating their bunk beds and, you know, making them real cute, making them real fancy. You have cliques and like groups of people, because I remember walking past people like looking for the bunk bed number and then kind of just like looking at me like giving me all of this, and I'm looking like, we're all in need. If you forgot, why are we continuing to do this? You know, like, that's neither here nor there. But I remember around this time I had met a lady named Tracy. I don't know if anything was wrong with her, but she did guide me. Now, I wasn't super alone because she did kind of take me under her wing and kind of tell me who to stay away from, where to stay away from. She would buy me snacks and stuff like that. Like, she was an older lady. She had kids, so she kind of did take me under her wing. And like when it came down to like ending up, you know, in Skid Row, she really did help me. She was like, you go stay at the Rescue Mission. She was staying somewhere else. We'll meet up, go to, like, she was a really kind lady. She was a little off, but she made a lot of sense, because I remember the last time I seen her, she was like, I don't want to never see you down here again. She's like, me, I'll be down here forever. But you were never meant to be down here. I don't want to ever see you down here again. And Lord's will, she won't. Video, hey girl, how you doing? Where you at? Where you at? But besides that, the Rescue Mission was rough. I think that was really rough, because when it came time for me to like have to take a shower there, because that's when I saw the potential that I was like, okay, I don't have to try to get one shower in a day. I can now take two, you know. Cleanliness, it was just, that was something I pride myself on, okay? So I would take my shower at the, let me tell you guys a typical day. Wake up at the Rescue Mission, go walk down, because the Rescue Mission would wake you up at 5, but the Women's Center didn't open until like 7. So I would, no, they was open at 6. They would open at 6 o'clock for breakfast. So I would wake up at 5 from the Rescue Mission, get my clothes, go downstairs. They have like juice or stuff like that. Walk down to the Women's Center, wait. The Women's Center didn't open till 6. So I would wait an hour outside. I would make line, people fighting, people arguing, people doing the absolute most. And go in, have breakfast, and immediately I would sign up to be the shower monitor or whatever monitor I decided to be. Do that all day, and then when they closed, went back, choose whatever monitor job I was gonna do for the day, and then go. I feel like this is so reflective for this corner of my face right here. Oh, it's because it's literally putting like a dent in my makeup. Okay. Choose whatever position I was gonna do that day, whatever job I was gonna do. It was just depend on what I needed, okay? Do that, eat, do my routine, do what I do. I would take panties, I would take whatever I needed, and at the end of the day, go back to the Rescue Mission. We weren't allowed upstairs until I think like 5 o'clock, But you were allowed there if you were paying. At the time, I wasn't paying, so I wasn't allowed upstairs until nighttime, literally. So I would just hang out in the lounge. I created a routine to make the situation more comfortable. That's what I did. I created a routine to make the situation more comfortable. At the time, I applied for a place they had down there called the Wine Guard. And I told myself, oh my God, if I can get into the Wine Guard, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be straight. I'm going to be gravy. It's a place to live, you know, but you're sharing a room with everyone, pretty much. Hold on, I'll be back. So like I said, I was really trying to make the most out of my situation. But what really got me wanting to leave was a conversation I was having with the lady in the bunk bed next to me one night. And she pretty much was like, you're pretty young. How long have you been down here? She didn't ask how long I was homeless or anything like that. She was just like, how long have you been down here? And I told her, I think at that time it was like 3 months or something. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, I've been down here for 15 years. And she was like, you got a long way to go. Good luck. She turned over and went to bed. I sat in bed that whole night, did not sleep, and I told myself, no ma'am. So I ended up telling my boyfriend at the time everything that was going on, and he wasn't from California anyway. He was kind of always just traveling, so I kind of told him what was going on, and he suggested, if he was just like, well, do you want to leave? He was like, I know where we can live really good and don't have to ever deal with this again. And I was just like, leave my hometown, you know. This is all I know. The plan, I think our first initial plan was to move to Minneapolis. Probably would have been cool. But we Googled a few places to live, and we found New Mexico. And it was hard leaving. I think I cried on the train because he pretty much took his last check from work and we left. And y'all probably looking like, did he know about this situation the whole time? No, he did not, because of PRID. But I knew I couldn't get out of it alone or on my own, because even when I would have got benefits, I would only have $2 to survive on for the rest of the month. So I knew I couldn't do it on my own, and I knew that he was gonna leave, like he was gonna end up leaving, you know, and I was gonna leave with him. So I needed to leave. That's why I need to write my own book, write my own story. Maybe LA is not my story. It ain't, because I left. I ain't there no more. LA doesn't have to be my story. Maybe New Mexico doesn't have to be my story. But I'm still writing my book, and I knew my book wasn't going to end there. So we left, got on the train. I remember crying like real bad, because I just left. I didn't tell anyone. I just left. And like for months, I didn't speak to anyone, because I was really trying to get myself up and out and get my life together and figure out who I am and what I wanted to be, and let God guide me. And I feel like since I moved, I ain't been nothing but blessed. And I feel like maybe that wasn't where I needed to be. Maybe God needed to just pick me up and move me away from people so that he could elevate me. So this is to anyone that's going through hard times right now, homeless or no money or anything like that. I've been there. I've had people ridicule me because they found out about the situation. So I've been there. And honestly, it don't rain all day. Eventually, it stops raining. You know what I mean? And for me, when it stopped raining, I've seen them but sunshine. I've had people talk about my situation to everyone when they found out, or that's why I don't confide in people, because the moment I did try, I'm telling you about my PRIDE is real. the moment that I did try to confide in someone, they used it against me. And that's why I didn't want to tell anyone else, but I knew he wasn't that type of person. I knew that if there was anyone in the world that I would tell my situation to and they wouldn't have pity, they would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. They would just be like, all right, what do you want to do about this situation? What do you want? What can I do to help you do what you need to do? It would be him. And now he's my fiance. So, but yeah, storms don't last always. The sun is gonna shine. Yes, it sounds super cliche, but that's what it is. You know, your problems are not forever. And I will say I am forever humbled. And those people that ridiculed me, hey sis, how y'all doing? In case you're wondering, better than ever. So I'll see you guys in the next video. If this is your first time stopping by to say hi, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've been here before and you watched this whole video, you know I love you. In my next one, bye, beauty.